Day before, okay, that's the day before. Then transfer day, I'll return at my scheduled transfer time. This procedure is no anesthesia. And then about 9 to 10 days after the transfer is... What's up, fertility fam? Let's get these babies, ladies. To make those rainbows in my mind when I think. What's up, fertility fam? How are you? All right, I wanted to give a quick update on what is going on for my prep for FET. So I sent a note to the nurse, Katrina, who is Dr. McConnell's nurse, about... So I'm not doing the birth control at all, it seems now. But I was just like, should I be buying meds? Like, what's going on? And so she sent me a note back. I know I'm super anxious, Nelly. But anyway, basically, she sent me a PDF of what like my next steps were. So it's not an official timeline, but it is like milestones that we'll be hitting. So the first one is cycle day 1, which is defined as a full bleed before 3 p.m. What does that mean? So if I start bleeding at 5 o'clock on a Monday, then cycle day 1 is the next day, the subsequent day. Or do you say subsequent? Some people say subsequent. I digress. The next day, Tuesday, would be cycle day 1. So I would call on Tuesday and report cycle day 1. Cycle day 3, I would, so cycle day 1, I would contact, I think her name is Nalita, who is I'm not sure if she's a nurse or nurse's assistant. Anyway, I would contact her, or if it's on the weekend, there's a special email, and say, hey, it's cycle day 1. Then I would be scheduled for monitoring on cycle day 3, which is blood work and ultrasound. Assuming everything is fine, then we'll order the meds. Or it says await emailed instruction. So hopefully the emailed instructions will be that the meds are being ordered. And then cycle day 8 through 15, approximately 8 through 15, I would return for additional monitoring. So that would be more blood work and more scans. They want to check that my estrogen is where it should be, because estrogen helps with the development of the lining, and so that's monitored. The meds I will be on will be S-Trace, which is an estrogen supplement, and then PIO. So during that phase, they would give me S-Trace to help, depending on how my lining is doing on its own, help develop it better. So it has to get, I think it's like between 8 and 10 millimeters is like the ideal range. I know in the past I've had instances where it was too thin, and we, like when I was doing IUIs, and so we used S-Trace, both oral, and then one time we used a patch, and then of course I did acupuncture, which I plan on doing again. So yeah. So they'll be checking for the lining, and then they will control my cycle so that I won't ovulate on my own, or that I won't ovulate at all. So then I'll move over to progesterone, and I'll be using PIO, progesterone in oil, intramuscularly, which I am gonna do in my thighs. That's what I did for my HCG for my first IVF. And so I think, yeah, it'll just be in my thigh. I'm not gonna try to do my backside. The next thing is then day before the transfer. So I'll return to Columbia University Fertility Clinic, or Fertility Center, for my final blood work and ultrasound to assess the lining prior to transfer. So assuming, prayerfully everything is fine, and then I'll get the go-ahead for transfer, and then I'll receive detailed time for my transfer. So after, there'll be probably a technician who does that, or maybe Dr. McConnell, but they'll do blood work and ultrasound day before transfer. They'll make an assessment, and then I'll get a phone call saying your transfer is at X amount of time. And then I've gone through a transfer at Columbia before, so I'm pretty sure it'll be like no makeup, no deodorant, or nothing with a scent, any parabens, because it's not good for the embryo or the embryonic environment. And then water, which last time it was like, I've got to figure that out. If any of you guys have any tips on the water intake and not going to the bathroom, that'd be great. What they did is they told me, like, I was super full, they were running late, so I really had to go to the bathroom. And then when I got in the room, I just told the nurse, I don't think I'm gonna make it. And so she said, go and try to let out a little bit. And so I went and did that, and like, it was...
There was no such thing as a little bit at that point, like a lot came out.
So it just kind of delayed stuff. So I'd rather not have to try and let out a little bit. But I know they're going to be pressing on the stomach, and I know that water is full. So I've been watching videos, but nobody has really talked about that. So if you've done multiple transfers and you've figured out the magic to the water, full bladder, not being in pain, let me know down below. Day before, okay, that's the day before. Then transfer day, I'll return at my scheduled transfer time. This procedure is no anesthesia. And then about 9 to 10 days after the transfer is the blood test, the qualitative HCG test. So that is what's going on with that. I'm super excited. We're still waiting to make embryos. So she did send that in the note at first before she gave me the attachment.
It looks like we are still in the phase of making your embryos, Tanika. Once we have confirmation, then we will plan for the frozen embryo transfer cycle for February.
She didn't say it like that. That's just me interpreting it. But she may have had that tone. Like, girl, why are you asking me about this? Okay. And then she said, call me if you need clarification, and she attached that. So I think we're good there. I am still working on my weight loss, and so we'll see there. And I just read a note from one of you, and now I can't remember, but it was basically about getting rid of all anti-inflammatories right before the transfer. So I am probably going to do that as well. So that means I've already cut out all processed sugar and added sugar. I will cut out dairy, which is really helping me on my keto adjacent plan right now. However, at that point, I'm not going to focus on weight loss. I'm just going to focus solely on a successful transfer. So any dairy, I mean, I'm already lactose intolerant, so I shouldn't be having it anyway, but it's not so bad. However, I know that it is an inflammatory, so I will stop with the dairy, the cycle going into the transfer. I will add the pomegranate juice. So far, I've been doing pomegranate arrows. I've been adding it to my food. The juice is so high in sugar content that I just can't risk it right now while I'm trying to get my weight down or get my BMI down. And so I definitely will be taking that to help with the lining. We'll be exercising, we'll be doing acupuncture, all that fun stuff. I'm actually gonna go to acupuncture this week, so I'll film that for you guys. And hopefully if I have time, I'll get to talk to Dr. Clara, and maybe she'll talk to you guys as well. We'll see how it goes on time, because my appointment's like at 6 o'clock, so I might be her last one for the day. Yeah, so that is what's going on. Oh, and I found a therapist that will talk to me about third-party reproduction. I don't know if you remember, the MFM, maternal fetal medicine doctor, recommended that I find a therapist. I told her, like, I was in between therapists, so she highly recommended that I get into therapy. So I found one who has like a focus on third-party reproduction, and so I need to actually get back to him. I'm either gonna go Friday, I think he said Friday, Sunday, or Monday, and he does evening hours. He's like 15-minute walk from me. He's on Central Park West, so I think that is perfect. I'm excited. Although I think it'll be less traumatic now that I've sort of come to terms with the donor egg part of it. I haven't ever really talked to anybody about the donor sperm part, so I just want to get into all of that. Anything that I've not thought of, kind of want to discuss that with him. And just going through this process in general as a single mom by choice, and what all that looks like. And so, because I'm sure there's the potential for some drama medically going along this way, and so I think just having my head in order and not having any stress or any unconscious stress walking into the process will be helpful for both me and my future babies. Yeah. All right, I just wanted to give you an update in case you were anxious like me. I'm still waiting on cycle day 1 for our donor egg woman, I don't know what to call her, donor egg giver, egg donor, there we go, they have an official name. Still waiting on cycle day 1 for the egg donor, and so yeah, I'm kind of chomping my nails because I thought it was going to be last week. I think her cycle started December 18th, the last one, so this one might be running late. Of course, my mind is running wild, like, oh my god, I hope she's not pregnant. I'm sure that's not the case. I'm sure everything is fine. I'm glad that Katrina emailed me, because that's just one less thing for me to worry about. And I'm glad that I get to talk to the therapist, because clearly I need someone to talk to about this. All right, ladies, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Baby dust to us all.